Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're embarking on a really fascinating exploration. It's one that kind of challenges our usual ideas about healing. We're going to unpack this concept that healing isn't just a physical thing you do.
Sure.
It's more like a journey, right? Into these multiple interconnected layers of our being.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe the most surprising part, we'll discover the really profound role of stillness in that whole journey.
That's quite powerful.
Our compass for this deep dive is Ruslan Healer's insightful work, The Layers of Our Being and the Medicine of Stillness. We're drawing specifically from chapters 3 and 4.
Good stuff in there.
Yeah. Our mission really is to grasp healing as an internal process. More about listening, allowing, less about forcing.
Right.
And you'll see how some incredibly simple practices can actually unlock pretty profound shifts.
And what's truly compelling about Healer's approach, I think, is how they immediately broaden our perspective. We tend to focus so much on the tangible, the physical. But this work invites us to explore how we are so much more than just our bodies.
Right. It's about delving into those, often unseen aspects of ourselves and discovering the surprising power of simply being present.
Okay.
The author presents this really holistic view of well-being. It kind of urges us to consider aspects we frequently overlook in our busy, outward-focused lives.
Okay, so to help us visualize this, Healer introduces this beautiful core metaphor. We are like a tree with distinct yet totally interconnected layers. It's a really grounding image, isn't it?
It really is. It creates an immediate sense of connection to something, natural and alive. When we think of it, the roots of the tree, that's our bio layer, our physical body, anchoring us firmly to the earth.
Okay.
Then you have the trunk and the branches reaching upwards, flowing, dynamic. That's our psycho-energetic layer.
The feelings, thoughts.
Exactly, where our feelings, thoughts, all our various energies flow. And finally, the vast open sky and the sunlight holding the entire tree.
Yeah.
That's our living awareness, the infinite presence that simply holds everything.
It just instantly conveys that these aren't separate, isolated parts. It's a unified living system.
That interconnectedness feels key. And Ruslan Healer starts by guiding us to the first voice of that system, the bio layer, our body. Your body, that grounded root, is often the first voice of your being. It speaks in whispers, doesn't it? Long before your mind even has a chance to spin its stories.
Oh, absolutely.
Think about it. That tight shoulder you get, or the fluttering in your stomach, maybe a heavy chest, these are all signals.
And yet, how often do we treat our bodies like a stubborn mule? We push it, we ignore it, we silence its whispers with more caffeine or, quick fixes.
All right.
The author highlights this common sentiment through a story about a woman who felt betrayed by my body because it keeps breaking down.
I think a lot of people can relate to that feeling.
Totally. But the profound reframe here is, what if your body isn't betraying you? What if it's actually speaking to you, simply asking you to listen? Your headaches aren't enemies. Maybe they're signals you've been carrying too much without rest.
Right.
Your fatigue isn't a failure. It's your body's way of saying, hey, slow down. The body is always for you, always trying to return you to balance.
So building on that, Healer introduces this surprisingly simple yet really powerful practice called the body scan of friendship. You basically sit or lie down in stillness, close your eyes, and just breathe. Then you gently bring your awareness to your feet and silently ask, dear feet, what do you want me to know?
Just asking.
Just asking. And you slowly move this awareness upward. Legs, hips, belly, chest, arms, head pausing at each place to ask, what are you trying to tell me?
And the key is?
The key here is not to analyze, just listen. Just be open to whatever comes up. When I first tried this, I expected maybe just physical aches, But my neck surprised me. It felt like it whispered, I'm holding on to too much control.
Wow.
It's those unexpected insights that really make you realize how deeply our body communicates. It sort of bypasses our analytical mind.
And it does.
It allows this direct, unfiltered access to what's really going on beneath the surface.
Exactly. This practice is so powerful because it offers a direct line to our subconscious almost, providing clarity on what truly needs our attention, often before our mind even catches up.
Yeah.
It's not just about identifying discomfort, it's about acknowledging the deeper messages our bodies are constantly sending.
So from that grounded root, we flow into the second layer, the psychoenergetic layer,
Right.
the flowing river of feelings, thoughts, energy. This is where our emotional currents run, joy, grief, anger, longing, all of it.
And society often teaches us to dam this river, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely.
We're told don't cry, don't be angry, don't feel too much. So we hold these emotions back.
You suppress.
We suppress. But as Healer points out, dammed rivers grow restless. They flood. They burst. There was this story of a man who said he felt empty, numb, like nothing matters, just completely flat.
Wow.
When he was guided to just breathe into that emptiness, slowly, gently, beneath the numbness, this hidden grief surfaced.
Yeah.
Grief from his brother's death years ago that he had never allowed himself to mourn. He'd just shut it down. And when he finally let those waters flow, he said he felt alive again. Not because the grief vanished, but because he could finally feel its truth. He wasn't numb anymore.
That's powerful. Which brings us to meeting the river, another practice from Healer.
Yeah.
You sit quietly, close your eyes, maybe place a hand on your chest.
Yeah.
You simply ask, what emotion is flowing through me right now?
Just noticing.
Just noticing. And when a feeling arises, could be sadness, anger, fear, even joy, you say to it inwardly, you are welcome here.
That feels radical.
It is. It's a radical practice, treating emotions as guests rather than things to be pushed away or fixed. How does that shift the experience for someone who's used to suppressing?
Well, it creates this immediate internal spaciousness. You can almost feel it.
Really?
Yeah. The moment you genuinely say, you are welcome here, even if it feels awkward at first, there's often a palpable shift, like a sigh of relief from within. It connects to that core idea that energy is emotion in motion. When we allow that river to flow, when we stop resisting and instead welcome, healing unfolds more naturally, simply because we're no longer fighting our own internal currents.
Okay, so we've understood how our body speaks, how our emotions flow.
Yeah.
Now the author invites us to step back even further to the deepest layer, the living awareness, what they beautifully call the sky beyond. This is that timeless, quiet presence that notices your thoughts without being them.
Right.
It's the spacious awareness that witnesses your joy, your fear, your pain, yet somehow remains untouched by them.
This is what Healer calls the living awareness. It's also been called spirit, soul, the witness, the self. Words don't quite capture it, you know.
Yeah, language feels limited here.
It does, but presence comes close. Imagine sitting under a vast, open sky. Clouds drift across it. They can be bright, dark, heavy, light.
Okay.
The sky doesn't cling to them, doesn't push them away. It simply holds them all. You are that sky. Your awareness is vast, open, unbroken. Your body, your emotions, your thoughts, they're like the clouds passing through.
I see.
The profound insight here is that healing really begins when we remember we are not only the storm, we are also the sky holding it.
Wow, that's a powerful image. And there's a practice for this too, isn't there? Resting in the sky.
Yes. You sit quietly, close your eyes, notice your breath, then sensations in your body, then emotions moving within, and then you ask, who is noticing all this?
Who is noticing?
Yeah.
Right.
And the invitation is to just rest in that noticing, that pure awareness. Even just a few seconds of resting there can truly untangle you. It makes you feel less pulled into the drama of the storm. And as the source says, the sky opens.
It's an immediate shift in perspective, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just asking that question.
Absolutely. It's like stepping out of a noisy, crowded room into this vast, silent landscape. That simple question, who is noticing all this, redirects your attention away from the content of your experience, the thoughts, the feelings, to the pure capacity for experience itself.
Right.
It creates this powerful disidentification from the fleeting sensations and thoughts, reminding you of the stable, unwavering ground of your being.
So these three layers, the bio layer, psychoenergetic, living awareness, they aren't separate rooms.
Not at all. As we said, they're like woven threads, constantly interacting. For example, a tight chest, right, that's biolayer. But it may actually be holding grief from the psychoenergetic layer. And that tightness might soften when you consciously rest in your living awareness, in that sky-like presence.
Wow.
Or say an anxious stomach again, biolayer. It might be carrying unspoken fear, psychoenergetic, which then calms when met with the spaciousness of presence, of awareness.
So the healer's path then isn't about forcing one layer into silence or ignoring one for another.
Yeah.
It's truly listening across all of them, weaving them back into wholeness.
Yes.
The author shares this beautiful story called The Three Doors about a woman overwhelmed with anxiety. It seems to tie it all together.
It really does. That story brilliantly illustrates how all three layers are ultimately interdependent and how gentle guidance through each one can unlock just profound relief. It shows the weaving in action.
So how did that work? The 3 doors.
Well, in the story, the healer guided the woman through these 3 metaphorical doors. First, the biolayer.
Okay.
They focused on her breath, which was short, shallow. By placing a hand on her belly and consciously deepening her breath, her body started to soften. Just that physical shift. Then, the psychoenergetic door. She was gently asked what emotions lived beneath the surface anxiety.
Right.
Tears came, and she whispered, "I'm scared of being alone." The raw, honest fear surfaced. It was allowed to be there. Finally, the living awareness door. She was invited to rest in the simple noticing. "You are the one who sees this fear," the healer reminded her. "The one who notices is not afraid." Just resting in that witnessing presence. And the result was apparently profound. Her face softened, she sat straighter, even smiled through her tears and said, "I feel like I just came home."
Wow.
Came home. That really highlights the profound interconnectedness and this idea that healing isn't something you achieve, it's something you allow. That feels profoundly counterintuitive in our, goal-oriented world.
It really does.
What do you think is the biggest mental hurdle people face in allowing rather than forcing?
I think the biggest hurdle is our ingrained belief that healing must be a struggle, something we have to fix or earn.
Right, like we have to fight it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're often conditioned to believe that if we're not actively doing something, we're not making progress. But Rosalind Healer emphasizes that this allowing is actually a deep act of trust.
Trust, yeah. A surrendering to the body's innate wisdom, the emotions' natural flow, and the awareness's boundless capacity. It's a complete paradigm shift from active striving to deep acceptance.
And that allowing deepens with direct experience, right? Not just intellectual understanding.
Absolutely. Which is why the work provides some excellent reflection prompts for journaling with the 3 layers to make it real.
Okay, Bless, what?
Right. So for the bio layer, you might ask yourself, what is my body telling me right now? Where do I feel tension? How do I usually respond when my body whispers?
Good questions.
For the psychoenergetic layer, what feelings have I maybe been avoiding? If my emotions were a river, what would its current feel like today? What emotion most wants my attention?
Ooh, that's a deep one.
And for the living awareness, can I sense the quiet witness behind my thoughts? When have I felt most spacious? What does the sky behind the clouds mean to me personally? These aren't just questions, they're really invitations to profound self-discovery.
And beyond journaling, there are also these daily practices, gentle doors to enter, little things you can do.
Exactly, like body listening. Takes maybe 5 minutes. Place your hand on an area of tension, silently ask, "Dear body, what do you need right now?" And then just listen.
Just listen.
Yeah. And emotion welcoming. You can do this anytime. When an emotion arises, just inwardly whisper, "Hello, I see you. You are welcome."
I once tried that with this low-grade anxiety I couldn't shake.
Yeah.
And just the act of saying, "You are welcome," internally,
Yeah.
it softened it in a way that trying to push it away never, ever did.
It's a remarkable difference, isn't it? It changes the whole relationship. And then there's awareness rest. Takes just 1 to 2 minutes. Close your eyes, notice your breath, sensations, thoughts, then ask who is noticing, and just rest in that noticing. It's like a micro reset for your whole system.
So to really integrate this, Healer offers an integration challenge. It's called the 3-layer check-in. At least once a day, you pause for just 3 minutes, 3 minutes, to check in with all 3 layers.
Right.
Body, what do I feel? Emotion energy, what is moving through me? And awareness, can I rest for just a moment in the space that notices?
Even 3 minutes can shift your whole day. It brings you back.
Yeah.
And as the author encourages, you are not trying to fix yourself. You are learning to listen. You are not chasing healing. You are allowing it. Each time you pause and check in with these layers, you're essentially weaving yourself back into wholeness, little by little.
Let's shift focus slightly to the second really powerful concept in this deep dive. Stillness.
Ah, yes. Stillness.
We often think of healing as this great effort, right? Something we must strive for, fix, achieve. But this work challenges that idea beautifully, suggesting it's less about doing and more about simply being. Why do you think stillness feels so counterintuitive to our modern mindset of progress? We always want to be doing something.
It's because we're so conditioned to equate progress with activity, with busyness.
Yeah.
We think if we're not busy, we're not productive. And that somehow applies to healing, too. We want to solve our problems, attack them. Right. But Rosalind Healer explains that true healing often arises not from force, but from stillness. Think of a simple cut on your finger. It closes on its own when you give it rest.
Yeah, you don't have to do much.
Exactly. Our whole being knows how to mend itself when we simply step out of the way. Stillness isn't an absence of life. It's actually the fertile ground from which life renews itself.
Fertile ground. I like that.
The author uses this wonderful analogy to the river that clears itself.
Okay.
Imagine a muddy river right after a big storm. If you rush in with buckets trying to scoop out the mud, what happens?
You just stir it up more.
You just stir it all up. But if you leave the river to itself, if you allow stillness, the mud naturally sinks. Clarity returns on its own. Our hearts and minds are just like this river. We think we must scoop out every pain or control every thought, but healing comes when we allow that natural settling. Stillness is the medicine that lets the river clear.
That makes so much sense visually, which brings us to the medicine of not doing. Stillness isn't about freezing or shutting out the world, is it?
No, not at all. It's more about not grasping, not pushing, not running.
Okay.
It's a medicine because, think about it, for the body, stillness gives rest, repair, time for balance.
Right.
For our emotions, stillness provides this safe cradle where even difficult feelings like grief and anger can soften, can be held without judgment. For the mind, stillness reveals the wider space behind the thoughts, loosening their grip. You see, they're just thoughts.
Yeah.
And for the spirit or awareness, stillness opens the door to awareness itself, that quiet, luminous presence that has always been there beneath the noise.
There's that beautiful story, too, about the old healer and the young seeker.
Ah, yes. That's a lovely one.
The seeker comes burdened with sorrow, pleading, "Teach me how to heal my heart." And the healer doesn't give advice, right?
No. The healer just hands him a clay bowl filled with cloudy water and tells him, hold this bowl still.
Just hold it still.
Yeah. And the seeker is restless at first, fidgety, the water trembles. But after some minutes of just holding it, the water begins to clear, the mud settles, and the reflection of the sky appears in the clear water.
Wow.
The healer then points and says, your heart is the same, stop stirring, and clarity will come. Stillness is your medicine.
It really puts our constant striving into perspective, doesn't it? Our resistance to just being still is almost comical sometimes.
It truly is. We're so afraid of what we might find if we stop, but often what we find is simply peace and clarity.
Yeah.
And just like the layers of our being, there are practices of stillness we can try. Simple things.
Like what?
One is called the healing breath pause. You take a slow breath in, exhale fully, and then you just rest in the natural pause at the end of the exhale. Don't force it. Don't reach for the next breath. Just let it arrive on its own. Resting in that pause is like a little healing bath.
The pause. Okay.
Another is the bowl of water practice, using that analogy. Imagine your mind as a bowl of cloudy water. Each time you notice a thought, just imagine it stirring the water. Then, simply let the bowl rest untouched. Watch as the mud slowly sinks and clarity returns. It's about observation, not control.
Okay.
And finally, lying in the meadow. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself lying comfortably in a meadow. Feel the earth holding you. Let every muscle soften. Notice the stillness of the ground beneath you and just rest in that same stillness within yourself.
These sound so gentle. And as a daily challenge, Rustling Healers suggests, try taking just 2 pauses today, 2 minutes each.
Just 2 minutes?
Do nothing. No phone, no plan. Simply breathe and let stillness be your companion.
It might be the most productive 2 minutes of your day, ironically.
It really might. And maybe as a final thought for everyone listening to Mull Over, consider this idea from the source.
Stillness is not empty. It is full of life's medicine. It is where wounds are cradled, where clarity is born, where the healer in you begins to speak. The medicine is already within you. Stillness simply gives it room to work.
Wow. Stillness gives it room to work.
Yeah.
That's powerful. Which of these simple practices, these gentle doors, might resonate most with you listening right now? We really encourage you to maybe try one out.
Yeah.
This deep dive has really shown us that, well, being well-informed about ourselves and finding these surprising insights often comes from the simplest acts of attention and allowing. Just listening.